Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I'll post a new video. So happy Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month. If you haven't yet got a copy of this book, don't forget to grab a copy on Amazon or from Barnes & Noble, Waterstones, or lots of other places. Blackwell's as well. So yes, I'm Sandra. I haven't been on this channel for ages, live streaming, because I've been very sick with COVID, but I consider myself still having mild symptoms. So my voice does start to go a bit because my throat starts getting sore. So I wanted to give you an update because I had COVID symptoms. Well, I had flu symptoms since the 24th of June. We've just gone through into Thursday now, the 7th of July. And 2022 when I'm recording this, and I wanted to give you an update because I always love connecting to you directly. I'm really sorry I haven't been able to live stream much because I've been quite exhausted. So how do you cope with COVID? What type of mindset do you need? Well, first of all, you have to understand that COVID affects people in different ways. So I don't think any two ways are identical, but there are certain traits that you can look out for. I don't have some of these things. So I have not had breathing problems. So I count myself very lucky. I thank God, the universe, for blessing me with COVID without the breathing problems. So yes, I've got COVID. No, I would rather not have. I said, no, I would rather not have it. But, I've got it, right? In some ways, I'm happy that I don't live in fear of it and that I've actually got it, so I know how to deal with it now. But I don't know if COVID affects you differently each time you have it. So I've got no continuous cough and I've got no breathing difficulties. And I thank God, like I said, in the universe for that. So I'm feeling blessed right now, right? Because I thought that's going to be the worst part. I was worried if I was going to get breathing problems because I don't want to be hospitalized. That was my main worry and fear with COVID. And I prayed that if I did get COVID, that wouldn't happen to me. So I have to thank God and the universe for that. I'm very grateful. So what are some of the symptoms? So I've got a throat that, that when it first happened, when I first got COVID, I didn't know I had COVID. I thought it was flu. And I had this really burning throat. And I had fever and chills for like 48 hours mostly, especially in the night. And then I had like a runny nose, like a really, really bad cold. And then my taste went, and yeah. And so a temperature as well. And as time's progressed, some of the symptoms I've got back again. So sometimes I get a feeling like my throat's burning again. And I do cough up mucus. Now, the coughing isn't continuous. It's occasionally. I don't kind of know when it's going to happen. Like I was sat watching a movie on the bed earlier, and then all of a sudden I'll start coughing up mucus. It's usually white or yellow, occasionally yellowy green, which is pretty gross, but I thought I'd let you know. So it proves that I've got an infection. The condition, COVID, does make me more exhausted than usual. So I have to sleep a lot more. I get a lot more tired with it. But I still feel I have a deep energy still within my being, like further down in me. I still feel like I've got some energy. I don't feel like I'm completely wiped out. But sometimes, I haven't even been able to shower because I've been too drained of energy to do that. I found it really difficult to do anything. So what are the coping strategies that I use for COVID that you might want to try? And what about the mindset? How should you approach the mindset? So I think mindset is everything. I really think it's really important that you keep the right mindset. Because I've got disabilities anyway, I've got fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain condition that affects the nerves and muscle of the body. I'm used to dealing with pain all the time. I'm used to being ill, if you like. I'm used to prone to respiratory and chest infections as well, because fibromyalgia is an autoimmune condition, so I get chest and respiratory infections. So I'm used to dealing with some of the symptoms of COVID in terms of the lethargy, sometimes the pain, Because my legs were really, really bad at the beginning of this. They were really painful, really like hurting, lots of aches and pains like flu. Haven't got so much of those aches and pains now in my body, which is a really good sign. And I've got some of my taste back now, which is another really good sign. So with the mind, it's really important to know this time shall pass and to stay positive. Because if you have a negative mindset, it's not going to help you. It's just going to drag you down and drag COVID on for longer. You don't want that. So you have to understand, like I do, it's a virus, right? And if you've got over viruses before, you can get over this one. That's what I believe. Also, I take Hylac, which I've mentioned on this channel before, which is a good bacteria liquid form. This is so important to boost your immune system and to counteract the bad bacteria in your body. Because when you have a virus, right, you've got a lot of bad bugs coming into your body, attacking you from the inside, basically, especially if you have an autoimmune condition like fibromyalgia. It basically autoimmune means like your body kind of like attacks itself, but it also means that you've got low immunity. So, I take a good bacteria liquid format. And so basically a formula. And so basically by ingesting good bacteria, the good bugs are in my body. They're fighting off the bad bugs. Now, if you've got a virus and you're not actually increasing your good bacteria levels, it's just getting swamped in your system with bad bacteria, right? And there's nothing really to help fight that off, right? Especially with COVID. And especially with viruses in general, because, a lot of the time there isn't any medications you can take for it. So you have to let it run its course. But if you've got good bacteria that you put in your body, I take it liquid format because there's billions in there. And it's really important. Lactobacillus or lactobacillus, acidophilus lactobacillus, something like that. Anyway, that's what I take. I don't take it in yogurt. I can't actually have yogurt because I can't have yeast. And you can take it in capsule format. I've tried them. That really hurts my tummy. And besides, if it's not in liquid, the actual bacteria can die before they get to you in the capsules, from what I understand from my research. I used to see a homeopath years ago, and I used to get Hylac through her, but now I get it myself. It's quite difficult to get hold of. It's a German product, so yeah. But yeah, it's liquid format and it goes right into the body, and you have to have it with food basically, but you can't have toothpaste with it like half an hour or anything mint because it cancels it out. So you've got to be very careful what you're eating as you're consuming the good bacteria. But even if you're having some good bacteria in your body, like even if it is through yogurt or something like that, it's better than not doing anything. But I take it in liquid form because a billion of bugs actually get straight into the body, right? And if you, like I said, you need to build those good bacteria up so it's inside you fighting the bad bacteria. This will help you. This is my personal opinion. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner. So always consult your doctor or medical practitioner about whatever you take. But this is me personally. In terms of mindset, like I said, you have to have the mindset that you're going to get better and that it's just temporary and that it's a virus. Like other viruses, you can get over it and you will get over it. You need to have this mindset, because if you have another mindset, it's not going to help you. Now, whilst you're social isolating, that can be very depressing. It can make you miserable. So what you have to do is make it as fun as possible. So you have to do all your fun things. So what things do you enjoy in life, but usually you don't get to do because you're rushing around everywhere, you're really busy, because you have to slow down with COVID. So you have to accept the fact you've got COVID, not let it freak you out, not let it worry you, not let it stress you out, because that's not going to help. You have the mindset, everything happens for a reason, and this is your body's way of saying you need to rest and relax and take it easy. Right? So you have to accept you've got COVID, not deny it, but accept you've got it and then deal with it accordingly. But always with the mindset, you're not going to have it forever. You're going to get better as soon as you can. And you're going to rest your body as much as possible that you're able to, while still getting some stuff done, so that your body can recover and recuperate. Right? I've been watching a movie every single day since I've had COVID because it helps me relax. Helps me relax and chill out. As far as I can remember, I watch one every single day anyway. But yeah, so it helps me to relax. It helps me to feel good when I watch a movie. It just puts my body in a restful, peaceful state. It helps me to feel good. So that's why I'm watching a movie every single day. If I don't watch it till later on in the day, I feel weird or bad. I feel like I'm not resting. So it's really important that I'm allowing myself to have that rest, because the body does need rest when it's got a virus inside it, because the body has to fight harder. And the more you rest your body, the more the cells should repair themselves, right, quicker. And so you've got to admit you've got it, take the rest you need, understand that things are going to be more difficult for you. You're probably going to find it harder to do some things. You might be more restless. You might find things are more energy draining, but that's okay. It comes with the territory of having a virus, right? But you will get better from it, right? Because my symptoms are very much like flu symptoms, especially at the beginning, I kind of think of this as like a flu virus I've got. And so therefore I will get better, right? I've got some things to look forward to at the end of this month, which I know that I want to go to. One is an asexual meetup. One's going to London to have a War of the Worlds experience with my best asexual friend, Sammy. So because I've got those already planned, there's stuff to look forward to. When you're socially isolating, it's really good. You give yourself stuff to look forward to. So you can do online stuff. I might be playing an online game with someone. I might just be video calling your best friends, so that you've actually got some support, that you're socializing online and you're not feeling so cut off and feeling so isolated. If you've got someone to do your food shopping for you, that's a really good idea. So one of my best friends, they've come for a couple of weeks now and done all my food shopping for me without direct contact. So how did that happen? Well, I disinfected a key. I wore a latex glove, disinfected a key, put it in an envelope that I disinfected and dropped it through my bedroom window. And I talked to them out the bedroom window. And then they came in with got my shopping trolley from out the hallway, got different plastic bags, did all my food shopping and left it outside my door in my flat. And then I take it in my flat after they text me to say it's there now and they've left the home, so that they don't have any direct contact with me. So, you know, if you've got a friend who does it, can do the shopping for you, that's really, really good. Otherwise, you have to go online and do it. So you need to just keep really positive and understand you've got to take extra care of yourself at this time. You're not going to be able to do everything that you would usually do. You're not going to be able to do the same amount of work, so you should have time off work. You're not going to be able to do all the things you would usually do. So it just means coming back to the basics and doing what makes you feel good and making sure you incorporate as much fun things as possible, because you don't want to be at home in a depressed state thinking, oh, this is my life now. What you need to be doing is just thinking, this is temporary. I'm just recovering. I'm healing. Life is taking me to this place of COVID because it wants my body to rest. And it wants me to just feel positive. You know, a lot of the time when we get sick, it's because like something in us really needs to rest. Our body really needs to rest. And if we don't listen to it, that's when there's problems. So don't feel guilty about resting. Don't feel guilty that you've got lack of energy. Don't feel guilty about sleeping more. Don't feel guilty about relaxing more, because that's what you need to do. Right? And you need to celebrate small wins, small successes. So today, well, yesterday now, I managed to clean all my flat, and I hadn't hoovered my flat since like 24th of June or before, when I actually started getting symptoms. You know, that's when I started getting symptoms. And I hadn't, you know, I had a gas man here replacing a tap. Don't ask me why gas man did it, but anyway, I know why. It's part of British Gas in the UK, and they come and with the landlord's building insurance, the tap was covered under it. But or with his insurance for plumbing or something other, some type of insurance he's got that covered the taps, and my tap was corroding. So you know, there was some mess that he left, and I didn't even fully clean that up, because like when you've got fibromyalgia, anything like housework, particularly for me, just hurts the heck out of me. So I hadn't hoovered, and sometimes my friend does stuff like that for me, and obviously I can't at the moment because I'm socially isolating, and you know, I just hadn't had the energy, right? And to me, housework is not that important. I know that sounds weird to a lot of people, but it just isn't, because my main focus is relaxing, having fun, being alive, thanking my life, counting my blessings, like I don't consider I've got a really bad COVID. I consider that my symptoms are mild because I was expecting it to be a lot worse. I was expecting I might, I wasn't expecting breathing problems, but I thought it's highly possible that I might get breathing problems or get continuous cough because that's two of the main signs of it. But I was very thankful because I'd asked beforehand that if I do get COVID, please God, can you let me have it without the breathing problems? Because I don't want that. And my prayer's been answered. So, it's always better to set your intention and say, if this does happen, this is what I would like to happen. This is a way I would like it to happen, I think that's very important in a spiritual sense, especially. But don't be afraid of, just relaxing more. So celebrating small wins. Yeah. So I cleaned all my flat. So I hoovered my flat today. I physically cleaned the floors in the toilet, in the kitchen, in the shower room. That required quieting down, which is very difficult with my fibromyalgia because it kills my legs, but I had to do it really. And I had wipes and Dettol spray, which will help kill COVID viruses anyway. I cleaned all my toilet mirror and sink and everything and all around my shelves. So that's looking really good now, but it took me all day to do that. So I yesterday, the day before now, because we got into Thursday, I had to do some legal documentation. And it was really difficult, but it had to be in that day. And I spent hours doing it because I had to edit it down to so many words. And it was really hard for me to do, especially because I had COVID, but I had no choice because I had a tight deadline. And so that was really difficult. After that, I felt absolutely exhausted. My legs felt shaky, which I get with fibro anyway. Hadn't ate till late. So then I decided to eat something at cook it in 11:23. I think I was eating at night, and then I just put the Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 3, and watched that for 2.5 hours because it helps me relax. It helps my body re-energize. It helps me to feel good. So celebrating small successes, small wins. Doing that legal documentation is more than a small success. It's a huge thing. Right, and cleaning all my flat is a huge thing. I had to do all the washing up. I don't do my washing up straight away. I leave it for a few days. I'll be honest with you. I buy paper plates and I throw them away afterwards to save them washing up. I buy tinfoil trays with greaseproof paper, put the food in there, and then just chuck that away afterwards. Sometimes I reuse it if it's still okay. And so I have less washing up, and then I still have to wash up cutlery and bowls and mugs, and I end up being in my kitchen a mess because with fibromyalgia, washing up hurts me. Any type of activity stood in a space like that just it just stresses me out, makes my body in a lot of pain. So I just don't pay much attention to it. I deal with it all in one go, and it's just much better to do it in one go. So I spend an hour or more doing it in one go, but I don't do it for a few days. And I mean, I put, in the sink, some of it, and then, sometimes it's got water on it to rinse it. But, but stuff like mugs with orange juice, when I drank the orange juice, it's got the orange bit in the bottom, that type of thing. So, but I don't focus on that. I'm not interested in housework. I'd rather be doing a shorts videos and stuff for you. But I have had to not do them for a couple of days because I have felt really exhausted and my throat keeps going. Can you hear it? It's going more croaky again. And when it gets really croaky and then it feels like it's infected, then I have to just stop because I don't want to get to the stage where I can't speak at all. So, I had to gargle with salt water a couple of days ago because it was just getting too painful. So, when I clean my flat, when I cleaned all the floors, I hoovered, did all the washing up in a day, for me, that is such lots of small successes, right? Even if you accomplish a shower, which I've had a shower today and yesterday, yesterday now, because we're going to Thursday, I had a shower Wednesday and Tuesday. That's a really big accomplishment for me because I haven't had the energy to have showers for days some of the time, So, and I've made my bed as well. And so, I'm just feeling a lot of small wins there, right? A lot of small wins. So you have to understand that anything you do is small wins. If, for example, I'm running a book publishing business, right? I can't do much about that at the moment, but I have spent a little bit of time working on my Asexual Guide to Sex book. I did do some stuff to one of my chapters that I'm working on, and I did some research the next day online for that using my own channel stuff. But I still haven't done enough of that, but I have done a little bit. So that is a small success. That is a win. I added people to my Facebook groups that need to go in there. They've been waiting a while, and that was very energy drain for me, but I did it. So that was small wins, you know. And I'm in book groups. So running a book publishing business, I like to see the success of other people. There was one person who hasn't been in profit in one of the groups since 2016 when they first published their book, and then all of a sudden they got into massive profit with what they're doing with the books. So it only takes one book or one book idea to change your life, you know. And I love reading success stories, right? So even though I'm not able to do much writing at the moment, just reading success stories like that is a success in itself, because it's boosting your confidence, boosting your motivation, still keeping a level of importance in your industry and what you're doing. So for me, book publishing is still keeping it at the forefront of my mind. It's still seeing success. It's still seeing what can be achieved. It's still helping my book publishing business journey, right? So when I'm doing that, I'm just still really focusing on book publishing business. It's still that direction. It's still helping me, because, you know, it's a lot of hard work to ever earn money, like a full-time job income from writing, but you can do it. I see people on the timing group saying they're earning a full-time income, but it didn't come overnight. Took them ages to get to that level. But because I see other people being successful, I know I can do it. It's a law of assumption that if you see someone else being successful at something, you can do it as well. You can assume you can do it. So this is really good, because although I can't do as much work at the moment, I'm still doing a bit of work, in the sense I'm still doing research about what's working for other people. I'm still like having that motivational mindset. I'm still having things to look forward to achieving. I'm still feeling really good about my book publishing business. I just know that I have to take more time out lately. And, you know, obviously because I'm at home, I have got more time, in the sense that, you know, I'm social isolating, but I haven't got as much time to do stuff, because I do get exhausted a lot more. So I do have to rest. I do still feel I've got a lot of energy within inside me, like I'm chatting to you now, so I don't feel I'm completely out of all energy. But consciously during the day a lot, I know that I have to sleep more, I have to rest my body more, I have to just chill out more. So you have to understand that it's perfectly okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. And, you know, if you get a lot of sleep, it's actually successful, because when you first get the symptoms of COVID, or when I did, which was basically symptoms of flu, it's really difficult to sleep at all. Like I was getting constant fever and chills for like a lot of hours, and so restless. So one minute I'll be wanting to put all the blankets over me, put as many clothes on as possible, like bed clothes. And the next minute I'll be wanting to, and put the heater on. The next minute I'll be wanting to throw them all off me. And like, you know, and my legs will be restless because I'll be too hot, you know, and then open all the windows, and then it's like back to the I'm cold, I'm you know, I'm shiver. Well, I wasn't shaking. I was really cold though. So, you know, and so basically then it's like, you know, cold, layer up again, put the heater on, too hot, take it all off. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of really difficult. But, you know, I always have the mindset this time will pass. Everything happens for a reason. And the reason is your body needs rest. So just listen to that. Don't be stubborn. Listen to it and just know, you know, when I say don't be stubborn, it's still good to be stubborn in the sense that, you know, COVID's not going to beat you and you're going to be fine with it. But it's more, that's more of a determination to succeed at getting rid of COVID. You know, it's more of a, you know, good mindset, you know, because it is a virus and you get over viruses, and people get over viruses all the time. So you can get over it. It just takes sometimes longer to get over COVID. It just means, you know, some of the symptoms come back again. Some of the symptoms just don't go away very easily. But gradually you'll get better and better and better until you won't have the condition anymore. And you build up antibodies in your body. So this is a good thing. And if you can get through COVID, you kind of know you can get through anything. But I know I'll get through this. You know, I don't consider myself as bad as some people with it. And I know some people have got over it quicker than me. Some people have had it for weeks. But I'm confident that I will get over this. I think within the next week or two max, you know, this week or week after, you know, I will be fine again. You know, probably another week maybe. You know, but I know that I'll get over this. It's not going to last forever. I still have some energy within inside me. Does that make sense? Within me. inside me. And, you know, it just means that I do need to take more time out for me now. So I'm sorry that I can't live stream much at the moment. I'm really sorry I can't do all the live streams I usually do, but I get very exhausted, and I will listen to my own body and rest it, because through rest, like I said, you do recover and recuperate, and you know your body's are repairing itself, you know, so it's important you do that. And you know, like, still keep yourself happy. I've put a lot of music on in the last 24 hours, a lot of Latin music, club music, you know, that I would usually listen to. So again, this changes your state. It puts you in a much better state, a much better frame of mind when you're listening to upbeat music. If you're watching movies, you know, if you're listening to something that's upbeat and positive with a positive ending or outcome, that's really good. Obviously, if something's a bit sad, you've got to watch that, because you don't want to get into depression. You don't want to focus on sad things. But if you can hack a bit of sadness in some films, it might be all right. Now, I watched Spider-Man 3, which has got someone who dies in it. So that was a bit sad. But then I also watched, the next morning, I watched a dance movie, you know. And so that was much better, you know. I was informed that some people have nightmares with COVID. I'm used to nightmares anyway, because I was born into anxiety anyway, and trauma, because I had a forceps birth, and I've had nightmares since ever I can remember. Unfortunately, I get them a lot. So usually I don't go to bed till 2 or 4 a.m, and that usually solves the problem. But with COVID, you know, I'm so tired I have to go to bed earlier a lot of the time. And so that can impact sleep quite a lot. But, you know, I'm kind of used to the pain of COVID in terms of the body aches and pains because of fibromyalgia. I'm used to dealing with nightmares because of anxiety and trauma. And yeah, so I'm just used to lots of the type of things. I'm used to having respiratory infections, chest infections, and getting over them, even if it takes me weeks. So I'm kind of used to a lot of these type of things. And I think when you've got illnesses in general, like disabilities, autoimmune conditions, pain conditions, I think it makes you more able to cope with COVID and more resilient in some ways. I know that you're also more at risk as well. But I do think because you're used to, if you're used to dealing with pain, then you're used to the pain that comes with COVID. If you're used to like having less energy sometimes, then you're used to like that with COVID. It's not such a shock to the system because you're kind of already built for that anyway, if you know what I mean, for coping with that type of thing. So I think that's a really positive thing about disabilities and, you know, and certain illnesses, is that it does prepare you for COVID somewhat if you've got similarities like with pain. And normally, or dealing with respiratory problems, normally you kind of like are already like equipped for it, if you know what I mean. So, but don't forget to celebrate any small wins. If you have a shower, celebrate that. If you've made your bed, celebrate that. If you've managed to just do anything in a day, celebrate that. Any cleaning, any little bit of work, anything that's made you feel great and positive, anything that's motivated you, just celebrate the small wins, because you've got to encourage yourself that you're doing really well and that you will get through this, and that is light at the end of the tunnel on Earth, a live tunnel, and that you will be fine again, right? And positive mindset is really important, right? Just because it's COVID doesn't mean to say it's going to be detrimental to you. It just means that it's inconvenient and that it's got symptoms that aren't very pleasant in some ways. But like I said, I consider myself to be a lot more better off than some people because, you know, I'm at home, still in the comfort of my own home. I haven't got breathing difficulties and I hope I don't get them. Touch the wood. Pray to the universe and God. And also I don't have a continuous cough. And again, I hope I don't get that. So, you know, I just consider myself very lucky, very fortunate, and I'm very happy that I managed to clean all my flat. I'm really pleased with myself for that. And yeah, so don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video, and I love you lots, and I'll see you again. Take care. Bye. Bye.